It was a night like any other until the phone rang. Calls this late usually meant trouble, and trouble had a way of finding its target. Holloway here. Detective, we have a situation. That's so? And who's we? This is Evelyn Carter. You may know my father, Charles Carter, the author. Carter? The best-selling mystery writer? Sure, I know the name. He's missing. When a guy like Charles Carter goes missing, it ain't just some random case. A man who's made a fortune writing about disappearances, vanishing without a trace. That's irony, the kind that stings. I need your help, detective. My father vanished from his study last night. The door was locked from the inside. No signs of struggle, but something doesn't feel right. Locked room mystery, huh? Sounds like something your old man would write. Exactly. But this isn't fiction. Any enemies? Threats? None that I know of, but he was acting strangely before he disappeared. He kept talking about something big. A new book, maybe? Said it would be his greatest work yet. And you're sure he didn't just leave on his own? Impossible. His cane's still here. He wouldn't go anywhere without it. The greatest mystery is one that remains unsolved until the truth becomes too dangerous to hide. This isn't just a story, is it? James, I wish I could help, but Charles was always a private man. He delivered his manuscripts, collected his checks. That was the deal. Any unfinished work? Anything he was working on that could cause issues? There was something. His latest novel. Said it was too real. I thought it was just another marketing gimmick. But he looked scared. The manuscript from the study is placed on the desk. Recognize this? That's the draft he turned in last week. But there was more. He sent me a message saying he needed to disappear before they got to him. Back at the office, notes scribbled in the margins of the manuscript. A hidden code deciphered, an address, an abandoned library. Arriving at the location, flashlight in hand, the sound of floorboards creaking, papers rustling, a noise in the shadows. Who's there? A figure steps out. It's Charles Carter. Detective, you're a persistent man. You've got some explaining to do, Carter. I had to disappear. My book, it reveals something dangerous. A real-life conspiracy. I pieced it together from research, but someone doesn't want it published. Gunshot in the distance. They duck. Looks like you weren't being paranoid after all. A warehouse, heavy breathing, footsteps echoing. Evelyn arrives, breathless. Are you okay? Define okay. Your father's got himself tangled in something deep. The men after me, powerful, connected. My book exposes them. If it gets published, they're done for. And I assume they'd rather keep their secrets buried. Suddenly, headlights flood the warehouse. A group of men step out, led by an imposing figure. Mr. Carter, you should have stayed gone. Tension. A standoff. You know, for guys who like secrets, you're making a lot of noise. Hand over the manuscript. We make this easy. Pause. Then, police sirens in the distance. I called them before we came here. The men scatter as sirens grow louder. Carter sighs in relief. Back in the detective's office, Carter hands over a signed copy of his book. Without you, this story would have ended differently. And you, still planning on disappearing? No more running. It's time the truth came out. A smirk, a lean back in the chair. Some cases stick with you. This one, it reminded why this job matters. Not just for the mystery, but for the truth.